everyone into another episode of Getting Well with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, Nick beside me, Dave bottom left, Will bottom right, and we are ready to break down some Wednesday sports. We'll jump right into the current show standings and look at how things are currently doing. Baseball, still profitable. Best bets, dog of the day going well. Totals, still down. NFL, pretty much it is the same as yesterday. No changes there. College football, again, the same. Maybe it won't be after today. We'll see. Other sports, again, the same. No change since yesterday. But NHL, there was a lot of picks yesterday in NHL. Currently, a little bit down in best bets, kind of even. A little bit up in dog of the day, a little bit down in over-under. But lots of NHL season left to go. We will jump into today's slate. Leonard says, great picks yesterday in the NHL. Thanks, Leonard. Isaac says, Nick smells. And Tim says, Nick is dumb. So,
I think I know why Ice is saying that. It's because of the jersey I'm wearing. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's because it would be better if there was just no preface for that. He was just saying that for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, probably.
Well, Tim jumped in there as well. I guess Nick has haters.
If you have haters, you're doing something right.
That's right.
The first game, Boston and Washington. You can currently find Boston plus 115 to plus 130. Washington minus 140 to minus 150. Sixes, 6.5 available in this one here. And this one I don't really have an opinion of. I'm kind of going, I don't want to say low volume because I have a few plays in the games that I did bet. But I'm not going to go crazy here at the beginning of the year. I'm so excited like everybody is with hockey being back. But you have to bet responsibly, and I'm not going to go crazy into games just to bet them. And in this one here, it would be a lean with Washington. I was looking at Washington to win with Ovechkin to score a point, which was plus 125, I believe. Bet365, if you are in Canada, Bet365 allows you to do same-game parlays where you can do points, goals, assists, team totals, money line spreads, a whole bunch of stuff. So I'll be looking at the money line and certain players to get a point, or even parlaying 3 players on the same line to get a point together. I'm going to be experimenting with that as well. But in this game, lean with Washington, but I haven't pulled the trigger on anything yet. Nick, Bruins, Capitals. You're wearing your Capitals jersey today. Is there a reason why?
Yeah, because that's the team I'm backing in this game. I got the Capitals -1 at plus 118. I put it up on the site for minus 135 on the money line. And looking at this matchup here, heading into the season, these are two teams that I think they're going to be going in different directions. I think the Washington Capitals may be one of the most slept on teams in hockey this year. And I think the Bruins are a team that are going to miss the playoffs. I'm not super high on this Bruins team. They're going to be missing a few key players to start the year. Marchand, they're going to be missing him for, I think, a couple months. They're also going to be missing McAvoy and Grzelcyk, and those guys won't be back for a decent amount of time. It looks like 6 months for McAvoy. I don't know, 6 months for Marchand, and it's a month-to-month for Grzelcyk. I believe Marchand had I think he had surgery or whatever a couple months ago, so he may be back in a couple months. But I'm not impressed by this Bruins team this year, so I'm all over the Capitals here in this spot. I got them personally -1, and I don't mind the puck line either.
All right, Dave, there was a question in the chat for you. Do you have a Bruins fact?
You know what's funny is I before that even popped up, I was wondering if there are Bears in Massachusetts. Apparently they are. They're on the east side of the state, and they're moving west side of the state, and they're moving eastward, and they've been increasing since 1970. So that's an interesting fact. I don't know. I mean, here's the deal. One of the only players in the NHL that I can name is on the Capitals, Ovechkin. They said the other day that he's the best goal scorer of all time. I think that's crazy.
Correct. No, it's correct.
Is he the best ever?
He's going to be passing Gretzky soon.
Oh.
He's attempting to pass Gretzky.
He's
the
going
most
to.
goals scored ever, yes. If he plays long enough.
And the cool thing about him is he looks like a hockey player. He's got that ugly mug with the missing tooth from like a 1984 picture of like, you know what I mean? Anyway, I have no opinion about that. I just think it was interesting that there are Bears in Massachusetts. So there you go.
All right. I will come to you in the game you have a pick in, but otherwise I'll skip you. That's okay?
Yeah, but I might have an opinion.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I want to hear Dave's thoughts on every game.
Terry, it's your
Every
show.
single
It's your
game.
show, Terry. It's your show.
Well, if you don't have anything to say, then I could skip you. But Richie, thanks for smashing the like. Will, Bruins, Capitals. What do you think on this one?
Yeah. So I grabbed plus 140 about a week ago when the market moved based on all the injury information. The thing is, the market was set at plus 110 when we knew about the injuries. And then the market shot up because a lot of smart, sharp bettors bet Washington. And in my opinion, this game should be a pick 'em without the injuries. And with the injuries, we're pretty close to there. Darcy Kemper is a great goalie, but Boston got 36 shots on goal in their last 25 road games last year. And this Washington defense is not good. Go look at the lineup. Boston is going to pepper the goalie tonight, and I would still take the Bruins plus 120. I have over a 5% edge on it. I'd be much more comfortable with plus 140, but plus 120, plus 130, it's the Bruins tonight.
All right. Ice X will be interesting. I called that before. Ice X says that Will is smart. He likes your opinion there and says, let's go Bruins. We will move on along to the second game here. The Leafs and the Montreal Canadiens. We have the Leafs at minus 238. Sorry, let me scroll up. We have the Leafs at minus 238 to minus 278. You can get the Leafs minus 1.5 plus 105. You can get Montreal plus 1.5 at around minus 112 to minus 115. 6.5s and some 7s now available as well. I got this game over 6.5. I was looking at it last night, and then I didn't pull the trigger, and I actually got a better price this morning. I got it for minus 122 in this one. Now you're looking at around minus 130 for the best price on it. If you're thinking about taking the over 7, you can get that for plus 114. I think there's going to be a lot of goals scored in this one. So if you looked at Montreal's lineup, which I did, they surprisingly actually have a lot of forward depth. If you look at their top three lines, top through bottom, they actually have a lot of depth. Let me bring it up here, and I'll read it off. So on the top line, Caulfield, Suzuki, and Anderson, Dvorak, Gallagher, and Slavkovsky, Hoffman, Kirby Dach, and Sean Monahan. And then the fourth line, Jake Evans, Rem Pitlick, and Evgeny Dodonov.
Don't look at the defense.
Yes. Well, yeah, I'm going to get to that in a second. I think Montreal is going to score goals. I think Montreal and Ottawa are going to be very similar in the fact that they are both going to score goals, but their defenses are bad. Montreal is going to be competing with Chicago, and I still think Ottawa, with one of the worst defenses in the league. Montreal's, especially tonight, looks even worse with Matheson on the lineup. Montreal is going to have an issue stopping the puck, but I think they're going to be able to score their fair share. They have done well against the Leafs recently in head-to-head matchups. But for me, it is over 6.5. And then I'm also taking a prop, Josh Anderson, who's on the top line. I actually got him for plus 128 to get a point. He is on the top line for Montreal with Caulfield and Suzuki. They're both like minus 130 to get a point. But Anderson's plus 128. That's value right there. I also took Jake Allen over 30.5 saves at minus 120. He is going to face quite a few pucks tonight. And as long as he doesn't get pulled, which I don't think Montreal, unless he is really bad. But if he's able to keep it to a 2-goal deficit, a 3-goal deficit maybe, I think, and not early on, and he plays the full game, he'll have more than 31 saves because Montreal's defense is not going to help him out very much. So he's going to have to stop that puck. So that's what I like in this one. Nick, Maple Leafs, Canadiens. What do you think here?
So we got the Maple Leafs. They're on the road, laying over $2. If you saw me last year, you know exactly what I'm doing for this one here. It felt like almost a blind bet last season, and it was pretty profitable, even having to back teams like the Coyotes against them. Whenever you're seeing the Maple Leafs laying this type of price, you just fade them and you move on. I took plus 210, plus 215. I forgot what the exact number was with the Montreal Canadiens tonight. This team could be a little bit sneaky. I don't mind the top line. Caulfield, I think, is a rising star in this league with Suzuki and Anderson. They got Kirby Dach from Chicago centering that second line with Hoffman and Monahan. They got Slavkovsky on the third line with Dvorak and Gallagher. They got some decent depth here. Obviously, they're going to give up goals, so they're going to need to score goals. I wouldn't talk you off of the team total over for the Montreal Canadiens. I think that's a decent look as well. But I took the big plus money here with Montreal, plus 210, I think it was when I got it.
All right. Dave, Maple Leafs, Canadiens. Any thoughts on this one?
Did we ever go over why Leafs with an S is correct?
I think you mentioned it in one of your videos.
Yeah. I don't know if we on the show. So here's the deal. Both of these teams bother me the way they spell. Canadiens is right, but why does the French part of Canada get to spell it their way when there are more English speakers in the country? That makes no sense to me. But the Maple Leafs, you don't have to convert it to the true plural with the V because it's a proper noun. It's not like maple leaves on a tree. It's a maple leaf like the team. So it's true.
Well, Tim, that's kind of obvious. That
He changed his freaking logo. Look at that.
Yeah, this isn't anything new. This isn't anything new. But Leafs and Canadiens, what do you think?
Yeah, so this was my first bet of the year. It was over 6.5. Leafs, Canadiens minus 110. Way back when DraftKings had minus 110. I wouldn't take it at minus 130. My projections have 8.5 goals. I'm not saying I don't like it. I just wouldn't pay the juice there. I found another way to play this tonight that I'm pretty sure I like. It would be Matt Murray over 24.5 saves, minus 115 at DraftKings. Montreal at home averaged 31 shots on goal per game last year, and Toronto on the road allowed 30. And you're telling me 25 saves. That doesn't really add up. So let's have Montreal shoot the puck and Matt Murray make some saves.
All right, so you're on the other side of me with the save prop, but hey, we can both cash. Yeah, we can. We can both totally cash on this. So
fast-paced game.
Yeah, sounds good. Columbus, Carolina, in this one here, and let me bring up the odds here. Obviously, news this morning, right after I put this play up on Picks and Parlays up on the site. Nick sent me a notification that Merzlikins is not playing today. So I was happy that I did not pull the trigger on my bet yet because I got to wait and got a better price. So that was actually the good part of it. But yeah, I'm not scared in this game of my bet, even with the goalie change. Columbus plus 214 to plus 240. Carolina minus 260 to minus 303. 6.5s and some 6s here. But for me, it's Columbus plus 1.5, which I got at minus 108 or minus 105. Minus 105. which it's currently at. And I also took Boone Jenner over half a point for minus 105. He is centering Gaudreau and Laine tonight. Boone Jenner is. Both of them are like a crazy price to get a point. But Boone Jenner's minus 105. So I'll take him to get a point here. I think that line gets off to a fast start. I may actually parlay. I'm looking at parlaying as well. Laine and Gaudreau both to get a point. I think that was like plus 105. So I might take that as well. But I like Columbus here, plus 1.5. I think they keep the game close. They are 3-1-1 in their last 5 trips to Carolina. They have had success. Adding Gaudreau, I think is going to be some nice firepower for them. Danil Tessarov didn't do too bad when he did play. Good top prospect for Columbus. But Carolina is a very good team, so it's going to be a big test for him here in this one. Nick, what do you think? Blue Jackets, Hurricanes?
I think we need to quit our jobs because we're not the entertaining ones here. This battle between Tim and Ice X in the chat's hilarious, but that's beyond the point. By the way, I do agree with Ice X on his comment that the Senators win tomorrow. I do lean Senators in that game. But looking at this matchup here, yeah, now they're having fun there, so that was kind of funny. But for this one, I was leaning over in this game. And then when they announced it was going to be Tarasov and not Elvis Merzlikins, I immediately hopped on the over. I got the over 6 at, I want to say, minus 118 before it jumped all the way up to 6.5. And that's the key of keeping an eye out on these injuries and all these late updates and stuff like that, is look for to catch some lines before they move. And this was definitely one of those. I like goals in this game. I think that the Hurricanes will put up 4 at least themselves. The Hurricanes are a team that I have futures on for the Cup, the division, and stuff like that. I think that this is a really good Hurricanes team. Once again, they got some decent pieces in the offseason with Burns, and I can't wait to see what Pacioretty does when he's healthy on that team. But this is going to be a fun Hurricanes team, and I think they're going to put up some goals tonight. Over 6 for me.
All right. Dave, any thought in Blue Jackets and Hurricanes?
No.
All right.
Well played.
Will, Blue Jackets and Hurricanes?
Yeah, my edge prior to the movement was on Carolina a little bit, and obviously that moved with the Merzlikins news. I don't really have a play. I decided to do over 1.5 first period combined with I think it was Montreal team total over 2.5 and the Toronto Montreal over 6.5 for my same game parlay X boost on DraftKings today. If anybody wants to check it out. Yeah. That's it.
All right.
Sorry.
Tim agrees. Well said, Dave.
Richie's not happy. I can't have some smart ass thing to say about everything. I guess I could, but
Come on, you got to be prepared for some smart ass shit. Come on.
I actually cap hundreds of games, per week, and I'm just throwing in NHL. So I have an actual one. We'll just get to it, but I don't have one.
Yeah, we will. We'll get to it right now.
Marquee matchup of the night.
We have the Chicago Blackhawks coming in to face the as much as this makes me want to throw up saying the Colorado Avalanche Stanley Cup champions. But luckily not for too much longer. The season will start, and then it'll be this year's champions. But you can find Chicago here at plus 310 to plus 350 on the money line. Colorado is minus 400 to minus 450. 6.5s right across the board. Minus 1.5, you'd have to pay minus 155 for Colorado. So if you want Chicago, you can get plus 2.5 or minus 130-ish. For me in this game, pass. I have no interest in getting involved in this one. If I am to get to anything at all, I may look at the same game parlay for 3 Avalanche players on the same line to get point or something. Maybe have Makar in there. But I doubt it's half a point. I'm sure some of them are 1.5 points. But singly, there's no way I'm getting involved in this. You will not find me backing this Blackhawks team. I don't want to say at all, but there may be a couple spots maybe when they face the Coyotes that I might look at the Blackhawks, but this is not a team I'm going to back very often. And the Avalanche, again, not a team I'm going to back very often, but not because they're bad like the Blackhawks, but because they're going to be overpriced like they are today very often. So this game is ultimately a pass for me. Nick, Blackhawks, Avalanche, what do you think here?
Blackhawks money line. Let's do it. No, I'm not going to go that far on this, but I will take them in the first period on the money line because the Avalanche are raising the banner tonight, and generally that's something I look to fade. Looking for the Avalanche to start off a little slow. I usually do that with most sports. It's not just hockey, but I do see potential slow start for the Avalanche. I also took 2.5 goals here with the Blackhawks in this game, and that's usually what I'm going to do when it comes to these huge dogs. Is I'm going to look to just take plus 2.5. So probably some very popular plays you're going to see on my cards this year is Blackhawks plus 2.5, Coyotes plus 2.5, Flyers plus 2.5. When there are these huge dogs, I'm going to look for them not to get completely obliterated every single game. So I'm going to take a shot here with the Blackhawks first period money line, full game plus 2.5, and the over. I like the over as well. I think there's goals.
All right.
Yeah, the over is kind of a hedge for me. If the Blackhawks or if the Avalanche cover this, it probably goes over.
That makes sense. Isaac says, I swear Nick hacked Tim's YouTube account. No, but Tim does obviously want Nick's bets. Tim wants Nick's bets to win. Because
we work together on the site.
Yes, so he is invested in Nick's hockey plays.
Yes.
But Dave, Blackhawks, Avalanche, what do you think in this game?
Okay, so I'm novice, obviously novice hockey watcher, capper, all of that. But I'm not a novice bettor, and I handicap everything else, and I understand odds. And I don't see how any professional sports team should be over getting 3-1 in any game. And I know the Blackhawks are supposed to be bad. They might turn out to be my favorite team just because it makes Terry puke. But but I put a quarter unit on the money line. I figure at 3-1, there has to be some value in that. Now it could be a long shot, but that's one bet, and that's not a cap bet. That's just understanding sports and sports betting. Okay. Well, how I did cap this, and it's very, very simplistic, is first I asked people that knew hockey, did these teams get significantly worse, better, or stay the same on defense and offense? And there was some, hey, this team got this. I mean, I know that the Blackhawks goalie was it the Avalanche's goalie? No, the Blackhawks goalie is worse, and the Avalanche are missing some.
Goalies are worse this year.
Yeah, okay. Second and third line guys, but there was no significant. I mean, I'm talking about wiggling the needle majorly. And why I asked that is I looked at what the team scored on average last year per game, what they gave up last game, and I made what you call a matrix. You can do this in any sport for any sort of total. You basically add vertically, add horizontally, and add diagonally. You get 6 figures, and you compare that to what the total is going to be. And there were 4 unders and 2 overs. I know the Avalanche can score a shit ton of points. I know the Blackhawks are supposed to be bad, but I took the under, which it's heavily juiced to 6.5. And I also heard that moving from 6.5 to 7 takes an act of God by the book. So they're probably not going to move it. They're just going to move the juice. But I'm on the under.
All right. Tim, if you're betting this to happen every year for the rest of your life, you'll have no money left. Will, what do you think, Blackhawks and Avalanche?
Yeah, we're gonna fade there. We're gonna ride with the Blackhawks some points this year, but opening night against the Avalanche is not it. On a back-to-back against the Golden Knights tomorrow is not it. We'll find our spots though.
All right. We'll go on along to the next one here. This game is really interesting. Division battle here in the Seattle Kraken and the Anaheim Ducks. You can find the Kraken at minus 105 to plus 105. Anaheim is minus 115 to minus 125. Sixes, some 5.5s as well in this one. People used to use a term that would drive me absolutely nuts last year. They would say
Kraken
it
steel
all
coin.
the time, Kraken steel coin. And I would remind them that the Kraken have just lost 7 games in a row, losing by 3+, getting destroyed on team total and everything. And I'm saying they were not stealing coin whatsoever. But this year, Kraken are going to steal some coin.
Oh,
This team
okay. Now you're using
incredibly
it.
improved
Like
over the offseason. I really like what they did in the offseason. And I'm actually very high on this Kraken team this year. They are in a very tough division, but they're going to be kind of overlooked at times. And in this one, in game 1 of the season, I'm going to back them as an underdog here. I'm going to back the Kraken often when I get plus price on them, especially against a team that I think they're pretty even against in this one. So I have Seattle plus 105, and I also have Matthew Beniers over half a point at minus 106. First of all, he's on the top line, and second of all, he is one of Seattle's top prospects. Shane Wright will actually be on the 4th line based on his preseason and stuff. So we'll see what exactly happens with him if he stays with the team. But Beniers will definitely be with the team for as long as he is a Kraken, for however long that is. But I look forward to making money off him. And I don't think we'll be getting minus 106 for him to score a point in a month or two. So take that while you can as well. Nick, Kraken against the Ducks. What do you think on this one?
Release the Kraken. There's a couple of teams this year that I think are going to make the biggest jumps, and the Kraken are one of them. Like when we look at how many points they had last year to this year, what they're going to have this year, I think a couple of teams that are going to make some pretty significant jumps are the Kraken. I think the Senators are one of those teams. I think the Islanders make that jump back up to where they were a couple of years ago. There's a few teams I think that did not do great last year that I think will be much better this year, and this is one of those. I think that the Kraken are one of the more improved rosters in hockey, and this is their second full year. This will be their second year. They got Burakovsky, they got Bjorkstrand. They drafted Shane Wright, which should have gone number 1 overall for a lot of people. They got him, I believe, they got him 4th overall. Now the defense is going to leave a little bit to be desired, and their goaltending. I think Grubauer can take a step up a little bit this season. He wasn't great last year, but I think this Kraken team is going to be better this year, and I think it shows that they have some depth when their third line is Brandon Tanev, who was hurt all year last year, Yanni Gourde, and Jordan Eberle. I think that's a strong third line right there. I mean, that may be one of the better third lines in hockey. And I remember watching number 7 play for a few years on the island. So I like the Kraken here. I got it a couple of days ago at plus 117. So that's kind of where I'm looking at for this one here. So we're going to release the Kraken tonight as they beat the Ducks, which I think the Ducks will be a good team too. I also took the over 5.5 in this game as well.
All right. I don't know which comment I was going to get to. Dave, if a Kraken and a Duck fought each other, what would happen?
Obviously, Krakens. Well, actually, because Krakens aren't real. How do you like them apples?
Oh man!
But I will say I should be a Ducks fan. That's where I'm from. I mean, that rank that Arrowhead Pond they used to call it was right. I mean, this is the thing. When they got rid of the old duck mask, the old goalie mask, when they got rid of that logo, they were dead to me.
Yeah, that's when they switched. When Disney sold the team, the new owners wanted to not be classified with that, so they changed.
And
the
Emilio
logo.
Estevez is my favorite Sheen family member because he kept their real name. Sheen is a fake name. Estevez was, so it was Charlie Estevez, and what's the dad's name? He was in Apocalypse Now. He was JFK. What the fuck was his name? Anyways, Martin Sheen.
I think you're talking to the wrong crowd here.
You guys need to read a book, okay? Get cultured.
Gross. What are those?
Drink some wine, smoke a cigar. Come on.
Will, Kraken, Ducks. What do you think here?
Yeah, I grabbed, just like Nick, I grabbed this play, I think, at plus 115. I grabbed it personally at plus 120. I'm not surprised to see it move down. The Kraken and the Bruins are my two. Normally, what makes me play a dog is if my model has them above 50% win percentage, and the Bruins and Kraken are just above that, both of them. So that's pretty much why I'm playing them. I am on this game playing against the Ducks more than I'm playing the Kraken. I think the Ducks are I just think the Ducks are poor defensively. I know John Gibson is great, but I think the Kraken are going to cycle all throughout this offensive zone all night long and keep the Ducks hemmed in and just shoot the puck on Gibson all night. So,
all right. We'll move on along to the final game. We are going to go over every game on the slate for hockey today, which is awesome. We have the Vancouver Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers here in this one. You can get Vancouver currently plus 150 to plus 162. Edmonton minus 179 to minus 190. 6.5s in this one here. And And for me, this game's a pass. Vancouver started off really badly last year. Once they got Bruce Boudreau, the team did improve. Edmonton improved in the offseason, finally getting a goaltender that I think is a bit more reliable here. They have Dylan Holloway, who will be playing, a good young prospect for them. I'll be in the lineup. I think he's on the second line tonight. So I do like what the Oilers did in the offseason, but they're huge favorites here at home. And it's possible that we see some underdogs at this time of the season. You could definitely see some underdogs. So I could see Vancouver winning this game. I could see Edmonton winning this game. So this game is a pass for me. Nick, Canucks, Oilers, what do you think here?
I think when I mentioned teams that I think are going to take a big jump up, last game, I forgot to mention one, and it's my dark horse to win the Stanley Cup this year, and that's the Vancouver Canucks. I think that this team, talent-wise, is pretty good. I mean, they have good forward depth, and this is a team that I expect to take a step up. But with last year, once Boudreau became the head coach, this team was one of the best point per game team in hockey. And they've got a strong line. I mean, JT Miller with Brock Besser and Tanner Pearson's the top line. Pettersson, Höglander, and one probably the most underrated pickup in the offseason with Andrei Kuzmenko from the KHL. He led the KHL in points per game. He played on the same KHL team as somebody that part of this panel is very familiar with, named Kirill Kaprizov. He played on that same St. Petersburg team. And then Horvat is your third line center. That just shows me you have a lot of depth, and I really like this. And then they also have a top 5, potential top 10 goalie in the NHL in Thatcher Demko. I really like the Canucks. I got in on this a couple days earlier at plus 173. So this line's moved 20 cents towards the Vancouver Canucks, and I 100% agree with the line movement. The Oilers are going to be good this year, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if minus 190 against the Canucks is the right price, and obviously it wasn't because this line's dropped. I'm on the Canucks here. I really like Vancouver in this spot.
All right. Dave, any thoughts on this one?
Is KHL the Korean Hockey League?
It's Russian.
Oh,
Continental.
What's K stand for?
Continental.
Spelled with a C. See, this is more of this confusion in grammar and spelling. I'm off this game.
All right. Will, Canucks Oilers, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, my model has had an edge on the Canucks. But the reason I didn't play it is it's honestly the only goaltending situation I just don't know about. Most teams, like for example Toronto, their defense is not good. So Matt Murray coming in might not fix the problem. But the Edmonton goaltending last year was a serious issue. It wasn't just the defense. It was statistically poor goaltending. So a goalie like Campbell can come in and change your outcomes when it's not Mike Smith. So I'm going to stay away, but I would go Canucks.
Also, question: is Nucks like short for Canucks, or people call them the Nucks?
Yes.
Okay.
I've heard them called knuckleheads too.
Yeah, mostly by you, Nick, but yeah.
Yeah,
Going on.
I like calling them the knuckleheads.
He's trying to make it a thing, huh?
Yeah,
I'm trying to will it into existence. I'm going to back the knuckleheads tonight.
Next up, use BetStamp. Obviously, that's what I use to bring up the odds for all the games. Put code WILD in the referral code section. Do your line shopping. Find the best odds for whatever you're betting. A lot of books have a lot of different odds and lines, so make sure to get the best lines. Follow me there at Let's Go Wild Picks. We will move on to MLB Playoffs. We do have 2 games. One is currently in rain delay, and from what I hear, it's possible that it may not even get played today in the Phillies and the Braves. So that is obviously one thing. And then we have the Padres and the Dodgers in game 2. I'm going to be very selective with MLB going forward now that obviously hockey is back. I don't really have much of an opinion. I backed the Dodgers yesterday -1.5, which cashed. Obviously, it was 5-3, so it was a little bit close there. It looks like at the end.
The score is very flattering for San Diego.
Yeah, but Kershaw has had his playoff struggles. Don't really want to jump on him in this spot here against Darvish. And then in the first game that's currently delayed because of rain, I think the Braves should probably bounce back in this, but I don't really want to back them at -137 and don't want to take them by 2 against Wheeler. So ultimately a pass for me when it comes to MLB playoffs. Nick, is there anything in the MLB playoffs that you like today?
Yeah, Braves and Phillies. Can both these teams lose? I would be happy with that. But no, I'm going to stick with what I've been betting every single one of the games that Phillies have played in the playoffs so far, and that's the Phillies' first 5 money line. Expecting Zach Wheeler to come out here, give me 5 strong innings, and the Phillies to be leading after 5. Also, I saw this was kind of a joke trend, but one person's like, I don't know how people can fade the Phillies right now. They haven't lost a playoff game in 11 years. But looking at it here, and if you want to use this angle, you can. If I'm looking to take anything from the Braves here, it would be Dansby Swanson props, because this will be his last game in Atlanta. Because I think that Phillies win this game and they take care of business and finish it in game 3 or 4 in Philly, and then the season's over for the Braves. And here's the thing: we've seen this with years past. We saw this with Yankees teams too, where they pad their stats against bad teams, and then we were wondering why they lose to better teams in the playoffs. It's because you beat all the bad teams 800 times every single time you played. You pad your stats a little bit. This is a spot here where I'm going to continue to ride the Phillies. I think the Phillies. I'm not saying the Phillies are going to beat the Dodgers, but I think maybe they're getting hot at the right time. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Phillies in the first 5 there, and then I'm going to continue to continue with what I had planned with the Dodgers and the Padres, and that's the Dodgers sweeping the Padres. I'm going to take the Dodger run line on the last game there.
All of our teams are out, Tim, unless you're fans of the teams that are still around. But yeah, it is what it is. But Dave, MLB playoffs, what do you think here?
Yeah, I'm on the other side. Well, I guess I'm not first five. Maybe, and I kind of actually maybe agree with that logic. The way I cap this Braves game, and I'm going to be kind of upset if it rains out and they have to play tomorrow, because I think there's something to be said about what I think the better team at home is, who just lost, wanting a kind of a get right spot. And if there's a day in between it, there might not be that sentiment in the locker room. But both of these pitchers are good. I mean, Zach Wheeler's been phenomenal the past 4 starts, which he's only started 4 games since August 20th, but they've been phenomenal. But Kyle Wright's no slouch. His ERA's in the mid-3s at home. I mean, he's a good pitcher. And also at the plate, these teams are almost identical the past few weeks. So really, to me, where the edge is the bullpen, and Atlanta's bullpen's been good, really good, and Philly's bullpen's been awful. We're talking about a 2.14 ERA to a 5.05. And then you look at their expected stats. You know, Atlanta's pitching a little bit better, but Philly's not way far off from where they're expected. I mean, they're expected to not be that good in the bullpen. So bullpens are super critical in the playoffs. I got the Braves at minus 124, which I know is kind of juice, but it just seemed like a spot for what I think the better team to get right at. But getting rained out, I'm going to reevaluate, because like I said, there is some get right sentiment that might have washed away with the rain, no pun intended. But on the Dodgers side, I think the Dodgers sweep. The problem is this is the question mark game. You've got the Padres' best pitcher, or at least the first 5, he's been absolute money, Yu Darvish. And you've got Clayton Kershaw, who, like Peyton Manning for most of his career, was one of the best pitchers. I mean, one of the best players in the regular season, and then not so great in the playoffs. So I'm not betting this game. I'll be rooting for the Dodgers. I want the Dodgers to go to the World Series and beat the Astros. Shaking your head at me or someone else?
No, you, but go on.
Because he wants the Guardians and the Braves.
The Astros to win?
No, I would like it not to be, I would like it to be something a little bit different.
Phillies Mariners, you ready?
No, that would be great. You know what? I don't care about all that. The only one I don't want is a repeat of last year, because
I don't want the Braves. Anyone else?
It's just boring. But the Dodgers facing the Astros and the trash can banger and all that, there's a story behind it. It would definitely help baseball to have those 2 teams in it. Just like Phillies and Mariners, teams that haven't won, or the Mariners haven't won. But the Phillies
and at this point, I would take the Yankees winning the World Series over the Braves.
The Braves-Yankees would be a suck-ass one, too. I don't want to see
I wouldn't watch a pitch.
Yankees-Dodgers would be, because you got the two biggest names in the sport. I mean, Anyway, I'm not betting the Dodgers game, but I think the Dodgers win.
Yep.
All right. We'll have to set lines for Tim against Ice X, who would win in a fight to the death.
I need to know how big. Well, I need to know what Ice X looks like. So,
what weapons are involved?
And is he taller? Is he bigger? Does he have the size advantage? We need to know more details before we can set lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking like brass knuckles, or like
fist fights, or
firearms.
We're talking here.
We'll have to figure it out. But with the way the chat's going, it looks like there might be a battle to the death between those guys.
It's all good fun.
But no, I know. I'm just kidding. Will, MLB playoffs? Any thoughts here?
Not really. I did just notice that DraftKings posted a gift for goal in first 10 for Chicago, Colorado. So go hit that. I think it's minus 110 instead of minus 155.
Oh.
That means there's going to be no goal in the first 10 minutes. All right, cool. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know that.
I'm more
promos.
Better, so that's the hammer for me. So.
Yeah.
I've cashed on promos before.
Free money from the sports books. No.
Well, you shouldn't do parlays.
Well, first of all, they do have bets where it's Leafs to get a point or Leafs to get a shot on goal.
Okay, those are promotional things. Those are not boosts.
But there are also parlays that are there.
Yeah, when it's something like this where there's an opposite line and you can bet it, I mean, it's pretty clear that the value's there when they're
trying to when they boost something, they're trying to get the money on the certain side so they can balance it out. They're trying to give you an incentive to bet the other side. Is what
who's Ice X's team? The Patriots.
Patriots.
Yeah,
both those sorry ass teams aren't going anywhere. Shut up already. Come on.
Ladies, you're both beautiful. Now stop.
I love you both, but your teams are going nowhere.
Obviously, the Giants are winning the Super Bowl. Get over it.
Hey, my 4-1 Vikings are looking pretty darn good right now. in that division
I would
Yeah,
agree.
because the Giants just helped you out with Green Bay.
You're watching the downfall of Aaron Rodgers right before your eyes.
Yep.
We'll move to other picks, and that is this game. Louisiana Raging Cajuns and Marshall Thundering Herd. You can get Louisiana plus 310 to plus 330, Marshall minus 372 to minus 400, 10.5s, 46.5, 47 when it comes to the total. And that is the only other game playing. I have no thoughts in it. But Nick, I know you and Dave do. So Nick, what do you think in other picks, college football?
Yeah, I'm going to be raging tonight with the Cajuns here. This is just way too many points. I have this game at a 10.5. Now, I get it. This is not the same Raging Cajuns team we saw last year. They've definitely gone down. Their head coach went to Florida. So this is not the same Raging Cajuns team, but 10.5 points is way too many. I was on Louisiana last week when they were 8.5. No, 2 weeks ago when they were 8.5 point dogs. They covered that as well. So I'm taking a shot. Or no, it was 2 weeks ago when they were 8.5 point dogs. They covered there. I just think when you're getting that many points with Louisiana, I still think they're one of the better teams in the Sun Belt Conference. I also have the under. I got it at, I believe, 47.5. I think this is a game where it's a little bit lower scoring, and that leads to the underdog covering a little bit more too.
All right. Before we get to Dave, 20 people watching on YouTube. That's awesome. Everyone watching on Twitter, come watch on YouTube. We'd love to have you in the live chat, and you can interact with Tim and IceX. Maybe get involved in that rumble that's going on. But everyone smash that like button, and thanks for watching. Dave, other picks, college football. What do you think here?
Yeah, let me get back to this. There we are. I've got 20 different tabs up. I'm with Nick. I think it's gone down to 10 from 10.5. I still like it. I got him at 4.5. I know. By the way, Raging Cajuns probably the best team.
One of the greatest mascot names ever. Yeah,
it's great. But besides that, I think they're starting their backup quarterback. They have a new coach. The thing is, their defense has been pretty good, and Marshall's a run-first team, and the Raging Cajuns are above average in run defense. So I think this is a low-scoring game. I think it's closer than a touchdown. So I'm on the under and getting the points with the Louisiana Lafayette Raging Cajuns.
All right. Will, any college football thoughts? No? All right. Hey, I'm in the same boat. But we will go on along to the best bet segment today. And we'll start with over under like we usually do here. And for me, Toronto, Montreal over 6.5, minus 122. Nick and Tim are both going Columbus and Carolina over 6. Ryan is going LA Dodgers and San Diego under 7. Occupancy is going Boston, Washington under 6. Toller is going Boston, Washington over 5.5. Melissa is going Vancouver, Edmonton under 6.5. Dave, is there a total that you like today?
Yep. You can put ULL if you want, but Louisiana Lafayette and Marshall under whatever the best is. I think it was 47.5. That's what I bet it at, but I think it's a 47. Still like it.
Yeah, 47 minus 110.
Yep.
All right. Will, is there, I think I might have forgot IceX's. Let me check. But Will, is there a total that you like today?
I'm on the Toronto Montreal over 6.5 at minus 110, but I don't think I would take it now where it's at. So
all right. We'll move on along to a dog of the day here in this one. And let me see here. Yeah, so he did put Boston and Washington under 6. Let me go back. Boston and Washington under 6 for IceX's total as well. But going on to dog of the day, for me and Tim, we're both taking Seattle Kraken plus 110, but I think the odds changed. So let me quickly. I think it's plus 105 now. And since it has moved, we'll get plus 105. Nick, you're going with Vancouver Canucks,
Yes.
plus 172. Occupancy is going with the San Diego Padres, plus 165. IceX is going with the Boston Bruins. Melissa does not have a dog, but she did say she would lean with the Boston Bruins. And she did say she didn't really like today's slate all that much. I think she exact words were, let me get it here. I hate this slate. Let it be known on the show today. So she hates today's slate, but so she leans with Bruins, but doesn't have one. Dave, is there a dog that you like today?
No dog today.
All right.
Blackhawks, I'm betting quarter unit, but I'm not putting it on the show.
That's good.
I almost put the Blackhawks as my dog.
The
I've
not
already
putting them
bet
on
it.
the show is good. The betting them, I have no comment on.
I already bet it. It's already in there. 3-1.
Well,
Hell
rest in
yeah.
peace. Rest in peace to that donation. Will, is there anything, any dog of the day that you like today?
Yeah, so I'm doing this by what my model says, and I have a bigger edge on the Bruins, so that'll be my best bet, and we'll go Kraken for dog of the day here.
Jeez, you were all on the Bruins. I'm not putting that on here, but I'm going to bet it right now. Cap the cappers, right? I'm betting it right.
All in the Bruins?
No,
Except for-
all.
Except for the guy with the Caps jersey.
I'm going to bet a unit on it. There's 3 cappers that like it. So.
I don't like the Bruins.
Well,
Nick,
3-1.
everybody is always against you, so
That's fair. I'm used to everybody.
you'll find
hating
yourself
my
on the
plays.
other side a lot. But
Yep.
4 best bets here, and then I'll get to the.
All right, Nick, I'll let you talk me off it later. Sorry.
Yeah.
Me and Ryan both have the same one, and that is Matthew Beniers to get a point for the Seattle Kraken tonight. Nick, you are going with Chicago Blackhawks plus
Hell
2.5 as your best bet of the night. Chicago
Yes.
Blackhawks plus 2.5.
Love
Tim
it.
is going with Washington Capitals minus 1.5 for plus 207. Ryan is going, as I said, with Beniers. Occupancy is going Freddie Anderson over 23.5 saves for Carolina. Toller is going Colorado money line and over 5.5. I did say no parlays, but it is actually a single bet at FanDuel. So it's technically not a parlay. So minus 110, Colorado money line plus the over 5.5. Melissa is going Columbus and Carolina over 6.5 plus 100. Dave, what is your best bet of the day?
Louisiana Lafayette, Raging Cajuns plus the point. And I think I got it at 10.5. I think it's a 10.
Plus
Other way.
10. I'm just going to put
University.
LLU.
It's
Everyone
ULL.
knows. ULL. Okay, there you go.
ULL,
This
yeah.
shows you how much I know.
Well,
Oh,
you'll learn.
Plus,
we're going with
Yo.
plus 10.
That's right.
all right, it's plus 11 minus 110
It's plus
Wow.
11.
at
Wow.
one spot. Yeah. At
What
least,
book?
At least one spot.
What
Power
book?
play.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
Oh, sorry, Caesars. Caesars has them plus 11 minus 110.
Are you sure?
That's according to Bet.
It is. It is. It did go up. It went down and went up. So there's money coming in on Marshall, but whatever.
Wow. There you go.
Yeah.
Will, what do you think? You said it. Best bet. You're going Boston, right? Boston money line.
Let's go Linus.
Oh, it's they're not putting Swayman in?
It's Olmark.
I didn't check the
It's
list.
Olmark.
Oh,
Oh,
interesting. Okay, that's interesting. And the Boston Bruins. Let me get the best odds for that. Plus 130 here. And then I think let me get IceX's best bet too, because he sent it in. Let me get it here. Is Columbus? Yeah, how can I forget? Columbus money line. IceX is going big balls, taking Columbus money line, which is plus 242. TBJ money line. But that is today's show. 18 comments. I basically will skip them. Yeah, Isaac saying he sent in his picks. I got it. And then, yeah, a lot of chat there. I will just skip it. But actually, Lex put in his best bet of today is Ovechkin power play, over half a power play point. So I do like that. It's kind of hard not to with Ovechkin, but that is today's show. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the content, smash the like button. We appreciate all the support. And we will see you again tomorrow, same time. Another episode, Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. Check out Dave's show. It is in the link of the description below, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, as always. So make sure to subscribe to his channel as well as Nick's. And we will see you again tomorrow, another episode, Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. Have a good one, guys.